Oh, hello, and welcome to today's Decay. We're celebrating births and beginnings of everything important since the dawn of time. It is June 20th, all day. So let's celebrate some births and beginnings of everything important throughout space and time. Here we have a piece of media, an outdated piece of media, a DVD of the Criterion Collection. Always a really good time with the Criterion Collection. 1928, I think it was. Yeah, 1928. Paul Feho's film Lonesome premiered. It goes a little something like this. It is shot almost entirely in Coney Island, and it's a beautiful, heartbreaking film. I was just talking earlier today about some of my favorite movies and how they almost all are really sad. And why is that? I don't know. It's like the blues, right? It's like you're connecting with the universe and some sort of shared struggle. Yeah, so in this case, Lonesome takes place here in New York City in 1928, filmed almost all entirely on location in Coney Island. Would it have existed if King Vidor's raging success of the film The Crowd didn't happen first? I feel like they saw that movie, which in part takes place in Coney Island, and said, let's do that. We can even save some money and film the whole thing on location and not have to like build any sets or anything. It's quite fascinating because it was all shot on location, where like you could just see like raging, like as far as the eye could see, it's just like crowds in every direction all through Coney Island. Going on various rides and like lighting up for sideshows and everything. And the story is about these two cogs in the much larger wheel of New York City who are just like, they live alone and work alone, or you know, they work to live or live to work, whichever one it is, the version that isn't the good one, and just spend their time surrounded by people but really live their lives by themselves. And they both wind up taking a trolley, taking some mode of transportation down to Coney Island, and wind up meeting randomly and hit it off and realize like, hey, we have a connection, this is really great, and like here we are surrounded by a million people, and yet like it's impossible to make connections. You know, I think this is something that is timely or eternal. And so they connect and have a great time and spend like the day in Coney Island together, and then there was like some accident that happens and they kind of wind up getting separated and realize like neither one of them got the other one's last name or like phone number or like any way to contact each other. So they spend a good deal of the movie like just surrounded by a million people looking for that one and having a very hard time finding. And there's points where it feels like otherworldly, almost like a Guy Madden film, I'd say. And points that it feels really real. And yeah, I love the movie, Lonesome. Do check it out. 1933, I think it is, Lazy Lester was born. Blues rocker who did such wonderful sides like I'm a Lover, Not a Fighter. And 1934, Kid Thomas was born, also like a rhythm and blues rock and roll artist who Drew Redmond told me the story, and it probably comes from a Kicks magazine or you know, right from the lips of Billy and Miriam, that Kid Thomas retired from music, became a landscaper, I think it was, and mistakenly hit and killed a child with his landscaping truck, I guess, and was tried in court over it, and they deemed it not a like malicious act, and so like let him go. And the child's father on the steps of the courthouse met him outside and shot him dead with a gun. And yeah, that's it. So I don't know, that's the whole day. Were you tuning in for a good story? You tuned in for a sad story. After a sad story, a sad story. But we experienced it together. Until tomorrow.